everybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Hey guys, Oda King Live coming at you again for another retro game show. So as you can tell, as it's sitting right in front of you, today is Sonic CD on the Sega CD. This was, one of the last few good Sonic games that they released, and a lot of people really believed that the Sonic CD version was, really top notch and kind of the pinnacle of, the Sonic games. And I remember this game when it first came out, and it really blew my mind. Not necessarily for the game itself, because I remember it being, just very Sonic-y, but what really blew me away with this one was when it first had that anime opening. That, it was long, too. It was a very long opening, and I remember, I was just getting an anime at the time. It was really big for me, and that opening blew my mind. Especially, being in a Sonic game. So, if you remember, the Sega and everything was my uncle's at the time, and I never actually owned this when I was younger. And then when he sold it all to buy the Saturn, it was gone. So I had to get this back. Now, this actually ended up coming from a really old card and comic book store, 10, 15 years ago. He had a whole bunch of Sega CD games and Genesis games, and he was selling them for $5 each, and I couldn't say no, so I picked this up as well as a whack of other decent titles. And because these were his own personal collection, I mean, they're mint. Manual is a little wavy in there, but outside of that, I mean, it's in good shape. The disc is, crispy mint. Now, if I don't get too much... you can tell that there's a couple scuffs, a couple scratches, but outside of that, it's pretty fantastic. And, so I had to have it. And so it was put back in my collection at that time, and then put in my Sega CD collection. So I honestly can't remember if I beat this game. I assume I did. But I don't remember, so I don't really want to say I did. And this was at the time of the Welcome to the Next Level there, if you can see that. If it likes to, focus, do that little sun sphere there. I remember those, that Sega campaign when they were doing that. So, hey, that's about it for this episode. Not much more to show on the Sega CD title. But what I wanted to mention here just before I go is I'm going to do a little shout out, and that is to the Xbox Retro guys. That group on Xbox is what gave me the idea for this, this week's title. A few people were posting a whole bunch of Sonic stuff in there, and then the one guy was posting the Sonic CD opening. So I was like, well, heck, I'm going to do Sonic CD then. And it was either this or some Mega Man titles. I can't do Toe Jam and Earl. I don't have it, unfortunately. But so I just wanted to give a little shout out to the Xbox guys there at the Retro Gaming Club, and see you next time. Peace.
Yeah!